morning, everyone. Morning. My name is Dr. Mati Tashwaya Davis, and I'm the Director of Health for the City of St. Louis. I like this crowd. I love this crowd. My introduction usually doesn't get a hand of it. We can do this every week if y'all are free. Let's just take a second to look around this room, see the support, see the community. I cannot think of a better way for us to celebrate the last day of Black History Month than to come and support this young king and this beautiful pharmacy. I'd like us to start, before I say the words that have been carefully crafted for me and that if any of you know, I will likely not read. I would like to invite you in standing, in honoring, and in singing our anthem in our community on this day. Please stand.
Lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicings rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on, let us march on, till victory is won.
Thank you. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and this gift that you share with so many. Putting him on the spot.
Hello, good afternoon, and congratulations to my brother, Dr. Marcus Howard. And my name is Jermaine Smith. As you can hear, I'm a jazz gospel singer. Okay, of course. I'm an opera singer. I'm an opera singer, born and raised here in St. Louis, Missouri, part of the St. Louis Public School District. I was discovered by Mr. Dello Thetford at Roosevelt High School. I was a computer science mathematics major, and he just heard me joking, making fun of opera people, and put me in a program. And from there, it changed my whole career, where I've now had the opportunity to sing in over 13 different countries around the world. And whenever I'm not performing, I always come back home. Whenever I'm not performing, I always come home, and I always give my time to my community. I always, right now, I am the Director of Arts and Special Programs at the Sumner High School. Yes. The oldest high school west of the Mississippi, established in 1875, and I'm just building up our children and bringing them and exposing them to things that they have not seen, just like I was exposed. So that's what I do.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jermaine. So thank you for joining us for this pivotal event in our pharmacy services to the St. Louis community, especially for our Black and brown communities. Today, the City of St. Louis is proud to show its support toward GreaterHealth Pharmacy and Wellness. I will say unapologetically that this is the first ribbon cutting that I have sponsored, and is with intention and design. Because if you know anything about me, you know that I live, breathe, and dream of equity for all, for communities that have been disenfranchised historically and to this day. So to see this young leader come forward and with intention bring resources and access to our community fills me with great pride. That deserves a party, that deserves some ribbon, and that deserves the press. So we are here today to not only honor him, but to increase health literacy and telling our community about why the work he does and the leadership he provides our community is so important. Joining me this morning to welcome GreaterHealth to the community, my twin in the county, Dr. Kanika Cunningham, the Director of Public Health for St. Louis County. We have Shamim Clark Hubbard, 26th Ward Alderman, City of St. Louis, who always shows up for me in this community, always. We have Lauren Knight, APRN, Director, Advanced Practice Provider for Urgent Care and Express Clinic, SSM Health. We have Jill Nowak, Executive Vice President. Child, let me not. Get your flowers. SSM Healthcare showing up for our community time and time again. We have Jill Nowak, Executive Vice President of Impact Investing for Missouri Foundation for Health. My boss, Jared Boyd, Chief of Staff for the Mayor Tashara Jones. And the living legend amongst us, Maxine Clark, founder of the Delmar Divide. But who are we really here for? And that is the Marcus Howard, PhD, founder, CEO of GreaterHealth Pharmacy and Wellness. Oh, such a joyful day. So all the speakers will make their remarks and we'll open it up for questions at the end. So like I said, we're here to recognize this advancement in equitable and accessible healthcare in City of St. Louis. I'd like to ask my twin, Dr. Kanika Cunningham, to come and just talk to us a little bit about what this means to her. She is the person, because this really is my friend in real life, so you're never gonna get between this. This is regional leadership now. Yes. She is the one who reached out and emailed me and said, sis, I've got to put you on and introduce you to this dynamic leader, Marcus Howard.
Thank you so much.
So she is the one who emailed me on the back end, and I said, say less. And the assistant had us meet, and I was so compelled to sponsor and bring this to the community because of that. So thank you to Dr. Cunningham. It shows who she is. She doesn't care about notoriety and everybody knowing what she's doing. She's just always in our community work behind the scenes to bring support to our community. Dr. Cunningham.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. I was added to the agenda unexpectedly, but I appreciate this. And Dr. Howard, when we met and when you told me about the pharmacy, I knew that I wanted to support. And that was before I knew anything about me going to St. Louis County. I think at that point, I just wanted to get the word out, the message out. Being a physician and seeing some of the struggles that people go through when just dealing with the pharmacy, and your approach is the first of its kind. So I had to support, but I also have to thank and recognize my clinic, Gio, D'Anthony, and Hannah, who actually attended a podcast of yours, and that's how I found out about you. So I do thank my clinic. But I showed up today not only, because I heard about this event, but also just to break those barriers because you're going to serve people in the city of St. Louis as well as the county of St. Louis. So I thought it was important to stand here and also represent St. Louis City Department of Public Health as well as my Department of Public Health because we have to have a regional approach to equity, and that is something that is a priority for both Dr. Mahdi and myself. And this is the first event that we were able to show forward our commitment to both city and county to create a regional change for equity. So thank you so much, and I am excited to support any way that I can, and let me know how we can continue to be of some support to you. So I'll turn it back over to wonderful Dr. Mahdi.
Look at you creating history out here, Marcus. So why am I so excited about this pharmacy? I want to say a few things about its importance for healthcare, for equitable healthcare in our community. This pharmacy is raising the quality of healthcare in the city and in the county through its work to be inclusive to everyone. Absolutely everyone who needs a variety of resources and services, from culturally competent Band-Aids to prescription medications. For me, when Marcus first invited me to tour and to meet his incredible team, I got distracted. I don't think that's a surprise to any of you who've had to listen to me thus far, because I saw on one of the shelves these beautiful Band-Aids that were black and brown. They were dark-skinned and chocolate and caramel and peach. And I'd never seen anything like it. Genuinely, I'm an infectious diseases doctor. I have a master's in public health. I'm your city health director. I'd never seen that. And my baby had scraped her knee literally 2 days before that at home. And I started to tear up because I thought, oh my goodness, I can buy these for my baby today and take them home. So Marcus will tell you, he remembers because he was the one clowning me for being so excited about some Band-Aids. And it's so funny because he's a businessman first, because I was like, Marcus, where did you get these? And he said, now, Dr. Mahdi, I can't tell you my plug. And I was like a businessman to the core, right? But I bought the Band-Aids and I went home to my baby. And my 6-year-old said, Mommy, look, it looks like me. And when I tell you I had to compose myself, I'm tearing up just thinking about it right now. And that's just a small example of how intentional Marcus was about every aspect of this pharmacy. I was here for a tour and I saw people come in here with pride, without a lot of the defense mechanisms that I'm used to seeing when I have inhabited predominantly white spaces and they feel uncomfortable. They were immediately comfortable. They could ask questions. They could be themselves. And they were welcomed. And for the founder of the CEO to be available to them from jump is something that we need to celebrate. It is a model that I am passionate about us replicating throughout our community henceforth. These poor notes, child. Kim, you did a great job, girl. It is not any... In 2020, the United States Census shows that over 40% of the US population is from a racial or ethnic minority group. In the city of St. Louis, that's 54% of our population. With our increasingly diverse population, it is critical that we as healthcare professionals understand diverse cultural backgrounds and beliefs to deliver quality care. That is what is happening today. Pharmacists are a key component of that care. I would have not made it through fellowship without our pharmacist, child, because doctors will round, and then when it's time for us to pick, dose, I see Dr. Cunningham nodding her head, it is our pharmacists that have been co-teachers, educators, and mentors to us within our healthcare facilities. It is them and their staff that help patients understand how to use medications appropriately. I was so proud when he was walking me on the tour and he talked to me about this model he's creating for really asking people in the community to bring in their medications, bring in all of the things that they're struggling with, and have a direct conversation that is not rushed with his team of pharmacists. Truly exemplary. Pharmacies can also help patients through a personal understanding of their beliefs and behaviors, because we know there is misinformation and disinformation, valid mistrust, not only for healthcare, but for medications, for pills, right? I get even concerned. My husband and I, both physicians, had to have a lengthy conversation about our babies getting the COVID-19 vaccine, right? And I have access to all of those trials and believe in them, but still and yet, when it's time for us to really personalize that, what has happened to us in our community historically and currently very much comes into play. So to have a team of diverse Black and brown pharmacists sit down and educate the community will go a long way to increasing health literacy. I want now to invite Laura Knight, the Director for Advanced Practice Provider, Urgent Care and Express Clinic at SSM Health, to the podium. Laura.
Thank you. Can you all hear me all right?
Yes.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, Dr. Davis, Marcus, and thank you all for joining us here today. This crowd is just a testament to the work that Marcus has done here today, and it's awesome to see this support. My name is Lauren Knight. I am the Director of SSM Health Express Clinic and Urgent Cares in the St. Louis region. It's an honor to be here speaking with you today and to celebrate with Marcus and the entire GreaterHealth team. We could not ask for better partners in our mission to serve the patients and the residents of the Del Mar community. Last April, we had the privilege of touring the Del Mar Divine and the future GreaterHealth suite with Marcus and Jorge. At that time, our suite was no more than 4 walls, some windows, and a concrete floor. But during that tour, we learned about Marcus's vision for his pharmacy, the role that it would provide and its role in providing resources and revitalizing the Del Mar neighborhood. It was immediately clear that we wanted to join in and bring healthcare services right here to this neighborhood. Soon after that tour, we decided that the Express Clinic would be the perfect fit to complement the pharmacy. Having access to care for your entire family right in your neighborhood is paramount to having a healthy community. In St. Louis, there are some areas that have limited access to healthcare. Specifically speaking, access to primary care services, preventative wellness services, pharmacy services, and express or convenient care clinics that you can walk right into without an appointment. And one of those areas is right here in the Del Mar and West End neighborhood. We aim to bridge that gap by bringing together the SSM Health Express Clinic and the GreaterHealth Pharmacy. Our hope is that by bringing experienced, compassionate healthcare providers into this neighborhood, we can help to reduce health inequities and disparities for the residents of the community. By partnering with GreaterHealth, we will enhance continuity of care and improve the overall health of the Del Mar neighborhood. We're grateful to those who have already come to the pharmacy and to the clinic to meet our providers, who have already began to trust us with their care and with their family's care. We're thankful to those who have welcomed us into the neighborhood with open arms and who have spread the word that we are here and we are ready to care for you. We look forward to many years of delivering exceptional healthcare and to building relationships with the residents of the Del Mar neighborhood. I invite you all to check out the Express Clinic while you come see the pharmacy and to meet our 2 nurse practitioners. They're over there in the middle in their white coats, Shanae and Debbie. And in closing, I would like to thank Marcus, Jorge, and Maxine for their willingness to partner with SSM Health here at the Del Mar Divine. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ms. Knight. We'll now hear from Jill Nowak, Executive Vice President of Impact Investing for the Missouri Foundation for Health.
Good morning, everyone. It's so great to be with this community today. My name is Jill Nowak. I am the Executive Vice President of Impact Investing for Missouri Foundation for Health. I'm here representing not only our President and CEO, Dr. Dwayne Proctor, but our entire staff, our board, and all of our partners who are so proud to be part of this journey of GreaterHealth, pharmacy, and wellness. As everybody has mentioned, today is a great day to celebrate. And we celebrate along with all of you who have a vision of health equity. Missouri Foundation for Health is a philanthropic organization based here in Missouri, in St. Louis. We serve all of Missouri, and our vision is to bring about health equity for all Missourians. And so we know that GreaterHealth Wellness, Pharmacy and Wellness, and all of you here share that vision, so we're very proud to be part of the journey with you. As we celebrate Dr. Howard and his longtime dream becoming a reality, we have lots to be thankful for today. We know that Marcus from a young age wanted to serve his community, and he's worked very hard. He's put in the time, he's gotten education, he's developed a great support group of family and friends and community leaders to share his vision. But we also know this is a great celebration for our community, who will benefit from culturally competent care that leads towards more equitable health care. And we know what that looks like because we visited the pharmacy a little bit. We know that they will build trusting relationships with people who can share their stories fully and not be concerned about being judged unfairly. We know that they'll be able to ask the questions that they need the answers to provide their own health care as well as care for their family. And what we know about health equity is when you're involved in trusting relationships and you feel valued and seen and heard, you're more likely to take your medications. You're more likely to adopt a good healthcare plan for yourself and your family and to stick with that. And at Missouri Foundation for Health, that's what we want to see for everyone, and are so grateful for our partnership here that will make that happen. When I first met Dr. Howard, many people in the community call on Missouri Foundation for Health and have ideas that they run by us. Just like many of you talked about today, we got connected to Marcus, and I don't know how. Somebody from the community gave somebody else's name to somebody else's name, and it ended up at our desk. And we had never, at Missouri Foundation for Health, invested in a business before. Our investments had all been with nonprofit organizations throughout the state. We're very proud of those partnerships and the work that those organizations do. But we are very grateful for the fact that Dr. Howard was able to show us a different way that we can use our investments to make impact and to move toward health equity. Marcus came to us with a vision and a dream and a passion. But more than that, he came with a well thought out plan that had taken years to develop, a lot of hard work to develop, to show us how successful this model could be. And for us, it was exciting to learn, as a foundation that had been in existence for 20 years or more, a new way that we could bring about health equity in our community. So we will be forever grateful to Marcus and his vision for how it helped the foundation move in a new direction. And I think people have mentioned this, Dr. Mahdi for sure, but we are we're very excited to help close out Black History Month with such a fitting tribute to such a community and such an individual. And we are grateful for not only Dr. Howard, but all the staff at GreaterHealth Pharmacy and Wellness, because we know that their goal of health equity and providing culturally competent care will help us achieve our goals as well. They will treat every person that walks in their door as a valued human being that they can help. And this is particularly important for communities that have been marginalized for so long. Black and brown people, members of the LGBT community, and others who will benefit from these services. We are so thankful for this opportunity to see our vision of health equity in Missouri by 2033 come true right here at GreaterHealth Pharmacy and Wellness. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nowak. I now have the great pleasure of asking the Honorable Alderwoman Shamim Clark-Hubbard to step forward.
Thank you, my sister. Good morning again. Good morning. I'm just so full this morning. Dr. Mahdi told us to look around the room, right? When I look around this room, what I see is access, excellence. Dr. Punch, I see you, and how we serve, and I see most of all everything we need. Give yourselves a round of applause, please.
And what I'm gonna add to that is, when we talk about divine and we talking about where we've come and if Mr. Smith is still here, how he eloquently sang the victories, we march on to the victories today. Dr. Howard is one of the victories that he sang about that we are marching on for. Give Dr. Howard, please. And it's no accident that we in a building called Divine, right? It's no accident because what I can speak to from my position is those church basement conversations, Maxine, when you were just talking to us in the West End about your vision for this space, and now to be able to walk through the halls. I see a lot of West End residents. Can the West End residents please stand up and make sure that the community in the round see that we are here representing and we are here in support of this amazing day. If some of y'all that didn't stand up, I'm not gonna start calling names, but if some of y'all see y'all didn't stand up, I got y'all, cause you know I know y'all. So again, I'm just excited to be here. I would be remiss if I didn't do this piece decent in order. I would like to recognize Alderwoman Marlene Davis is here. And if there are any other elected officials, the room is so packed, I don't wanna miss you. If you wanna stand, clergy stand. All right, well, we know again, like, amen. Like I said, thank you. I had to speak today because I just want to speak really quickly about the divine piece of this place. Again, started in a church basement. And then we came into how we are here today celebrating this young Dr. Howard. I have a friend that says, my friend Keith Stallings, he says about our children, they will be what they see. And Dr. Howard, stand up. You are an example of how our children can be what they see. So I thank you, Dr. Howard. I thank you to your family, right? Mom and Dad. And all of your extended family, your brothers that's in town for this. I thank you for your passion, but most of all, your obedience. Right? Because you could have said no to this when it kept falling into your spirit, when it kept falling into your mind, when it kept falling into your heart. You could have said no. Your obedience is why we are here today. So again, thank you, Dr. Howard. Thank you for allowing me to share in this experience and this grand day with you. I don't take a second of this position for granted. And what I will say, I forgot to say, and I was instructed to say, my name is Shameen Clark Hubbard, and I will add that I humbly serve as Alderwoman in the former 26th Ward, now the 10th Ward, right? And what I will say also about this area is that when you talk about divine, I'm here on behalf of my constituents in advocacy, and there is a pharmacy that is closing as we speak. But look at the divine. We are opening up a new pharmacy to take their place. So hey, we all now in this room have a responsibility to take this and share this with your own networks from your own spaces. And then we're gonna take this, like Dr. Marty said, let this be the example to grow and use it across the city and the county. Yeah. Thank you so much.
I love my job. I would now like to call upon my boss, Jared Boyd, Chief of Staff, to our Mayor, the Tashara O. Jones, the Honorable Tashara O. Jones.
Good morning. How are you all doing today? Good morning. Good. It is an honor to wake up as Chief of Staff and continue to serve in the Mayor's office for the first Black woman to serve the city of St. Louis and a resident of the West End, Mayor Tashara O. Jones, who extends her congratulations to you, Dr. Howard. But I think as I stand on this podium today, I think about the past and the future. I think about the past because I've known Dr. Howard and Dr. Howard's father and met his mother and his uncle, and I think about the good stock that he comes from. But I also think about the stories that my parents told me about growing up in places where there were proud Black small business owners, right? They would go down a street next to a barber shop there would be a pharmacy. And there would be a pharmacy with a pharmacist that they knew and that they lived close to and that they grew up with. And the pride that you hear when people talk about those eras is something that we can step into 2023 and get back to. I think it's also important to lift up that I remember when Marcus was going away to college, to UNC Chapel Hill, and I know we have some folks who came with him today. So many times when we send our best and brightest off to places like UNC Chapel Hill, we only see them on the holidays, right? We've got Marcus 365 days a year, right? And not only do we have him, but we have him in this community, making people healthier, making people's lives better. And I think that is so important, and we are so proud of what you are doing. We're proud of everything that's happening at Del Mar Divine. Thank you, Maxine, for everything that you continue to do. And he is but one person that is going to be a part of St. Louis coming back, and we are happy that you are engaged with us in that opportunity. So thank you. Let us know. We look forward to coming back to your anniversaries and subsequent ribbon cuttings. This is only the beginning. Right. So thank you. Right. And support him. He might not say it, but he's running a business, right? So business requires customers, right? That's right. So you can come and get your pharmaceutical needs met here, correct? Absolutely. All right. That's all I got.
Yes. I love that. This is only the beginning, but also support this man's business, please. We would now like to ask Maxine Clark, founder of the Del Mar Divine. And I was just saying to her that it is sometimes exhausting as a Black person, as a Black woman, to hear about allyship. Oh, people love to write their mission statements on a website, child, or put their little comments during Black History Month on their little social media, child. But Maxine Clark lives this. She does this. She doesn't wait for someone to put a camera in her face. She just decided to roll up her sleeves and use her resources to bring this historic and now living embodiment of equity to our community. So we thank you, Maxine. Please come and deliver some words.
That's fine. Well, thank you all for being here today. It is truly one of the most exciting days of Del Mar Divine's life so far. I know we're going to have many more, but this is great to bring so many people together. I like to say, I say it all the time, it takes a village to raise a bear, and it takes a village to raise the Del Mar Divine. And I'm so proud to see all of my friends and neighbors here too. When I walked into this neighborhood as working on our KIPP school just a few blocks away, the neighborhood, especially the neighbors on Vernon and on Maple, embraced us and said, oh, come get to know us. And that's how I wandered over here. I just took my car, turned right one day, came over here, and they're putting the for sale sign in this building. I had no idea really what it was before. It was awful looking. That's what it looked like that day. But I knew that it could be something, because here we had just opened up this school, and I've met all these people that lived in this neighborhood and had such high hopes for its revitalization. And I just started on the project. And I tell people, if I knew then what I know now, I might not have done it, so I'm glad I didn't know. Because that's what most entrepreneurs do. That's what Marcus did. He got into this. We met virtually about 4 years ago, maybe, at the beginning of COVID. I read an article in the paper or in a magazine about him and starting this pharmacy and about his GoFundMe. And I made a contribution. And I looked him up on LinkedIn, and we connected. And I found out that we had a lot in common. I mean, most of us do. We just don't always stop and ask. He had grown to St. Louis Public Schools, and I spent a lot of time working in St. Louis Public Schools. He had been in Teach for America. I was the board chair of Teach for America and longtime participant in bringing talented teachers to our region. He wasn't a teacher here, but he went out to Las Vegas. And as Dr. Maddie said, he came back to St. Louis. He came back to practice his future here. And that is such a great example for everyone. And I just knew that the Del Mar Divine was going to be a great place for him because I read the article and I saw what he was trying to create, and I thought, what better place than right in the center of the city of St. Louis at the Del Mar Divine. And so we spent a lot of time talking to each other, reading his business plan. I mentor a lot of entrepreneurs, proudly, minority entrepreneurs, and I was so excited to see how detail-oriented he was and how good he was on follow-up, and how whenever you introduced him to a new friend, he would meet them. And I was introducing him to Isaac Butler and Stephen Player, two pharmacists I knew, and to Dr. Kendra Holmes, who was also a pharmacist, now running CEO of Affinia Healthcare. And I was trying to think of all the people that I knew that would love to know him as well, and that could take him to a future place that I maybe didn't exactly know how to get there. I'm certainly not a pharmacist, but my friends Stephen and Isaac and all those pharmacists taught me how important pharmacy is in the community. And so we went on this journey together, and I feel proud to be a part of his family, of helping him get to this point, and I know he's going to go much further. But I also want to tell you a personal story about the Del Mar Divine and the pharmacy that's here and the SSM Healthcare. Because where I live, just down the street, down Del Mar, off a few blocks, I can walk to 4 urgent cares. I've never been in any one of them, thank goodness, but I can walk to them if I had to go. And in this neighborhood, there wasn't one. But on December 30th of this year, I had a little spill in our back parking lot. I was trying to avoid a puddle, carrying too many things in my hand, and I fell forward and really hurt myself. But I hadn't looked in a mirror, so I didn't know how bad I had hurt myself. So I just got up and steadied myself, and I walked into the urgent care. And they told me that I was in pretty bad shape, that they could only help me clean up a little bit, but that I had to go to the emergency room. And I want you to know that if they hadn't been here, I would have probably gotten in my car and driven home, and I would not have made it. Because my eye was closing up, my face was in terrible shape, I broke my cheekbone, I broke my elbow, I was a mess. But they calmed me down, and they took care of me. And I think they were sometimes, we can't do any more for you, you've got to go to the emergency room. They kept emphasizing that. I think they were afraid I was just going to go home and go to bed. But my husband came and got me, and we went to the emergency room right away. But I just want you to know how important that is in a neighborhood and in a building where you have hundreds of people that work here that might not feel great one day or might take a spill, and they have a professional person that can lead them in the right direction, even if they can't help you 100% right there. And I think it bodes well that we'll probably need a bigger urgent care in the future because there are going to be people that need it more than that wonderful little express care could give us. But I made it to the emergency room. I'm standing here in front of you. I'm totally fine. And that was a lot thanks to them because I don't think I'm sure I wouldn't have made it home. So I probably would have stopped on the side of the road, and who knows who would have found me if I didn't get in an accident. So I'm so appreciative of the care that the team here gives, and the pharmacy as well, because now you can just, if you have a sore throat and you go into the urgent care and they have to prescribe something for you, you can just walk right across 2 feet away and get your prescription and go home, which is really great. The other thing I tell a lot of investors or citizens in St. Louis about the minority entrepreneurs that I invest in is the best way to invest in them is to do business with them. Because you're going to give money to Walgreens or CVS or some other pharmacy that you might go to, and it's exactly the same here. You have insurance, you have whatever coverage you have, it's going to work here too. And so it's so much better to give your prescriptions to a place that is starting up, that's going to do this kind of good in the community, and you're helping a young entrepreneur get to the success so he can have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or a nationwide group of young men like him and young women that start these pharmacies all over the country. That's what I'm looking forward to, is how much we can change by the one pharmacy in St. Louis starting here in these last few months and growing to be a national organization or a national inspiration at the very least. So thank you all for coming to the Del Mar Divine. Marcus, thank you for answering my email. And to his parents for also being a part of our family here at Del Mar Divine. It takes a village, and I'm so glad that Shamim and Dr. Maddie and all of you at Missouri Foundation for Health, and I see my friend Lisa Potts back there. She always stands out in the crowd because she's always the one to raise her hand to volunteer to help this neighborhood get to be better, and she's been excited about this pharmacy since the day I told her about it. So thank you to all of you. Have a wonderful day and visit here, and here's to much great success for Marcus.
Thank you so much, Maxine. And at the conclusion of this, we invite you, we're going to have a series of tours, but to really take your time throughout this incredible building. the art, everything from the artwork to where things are and how they were made is so intentional to build community, to celebrate the great history of this community and to celebrate Black excellence. The artwork that they have, most of which was founded from the Ferguson uprisings, as Marcus so eloquently taught me when he was touring. So just really excited to have you all share in this space, to bring you here and then bring others here. Have your neighborhood meetings, reach out to them. Let's bring community here and really uplift this incredible building. Now for the man we've all been waiting to hear from. So proud of him, so happy for him and for his family. Mom hasn't stopped smiling, child, since we started. Dr. Marcus Howard. Yeah.
My whole team got to come on stage. I'm just gonna soak this in for a little bit more. Soak it in. This story starts right here in St. Louis, Missouri. This is where I'm from. This is where I was born. I'm from North St. Louis. I went to St. Louis Public Schools. I went to Metro High School. All right, go Metro. And if anybody knows me, I'm so St. Louis, and I love my city. And everybody knows that St. Louis has its challenges. Violence, disparities, the Delmar divide. But it's something really special about St. Louis. That you can grow up, anybody can grow up and help out. Anybody can grow up and make a difference. And that's what I wanted to do, make a difference. My name is Dr. Marcus Howard, and I am the founder and CEO of GreaterHealth Pharmacy and Wellness. The first of its kind, radically inclusive, culturally responsive, and free delivery pharmacy in the city. Free delivery. And so when I go out into the community and I talk to the community and I talk to potential investors and I talk to potential partners, the one question that I hate, I might add, but that they always ask me, and some of you in the room here ask me this question as well. What makes GreaterHealth so different? What makes GreaterHealth so unique? Why do we need another pharmacy? What makes us different? And I say this, don't ask me what makes GreaterHealth so different. Ask the 93-year-old senior who's on 20+ medications and receives medication counseling and that makes her feel alive and well again. Ask the wheelchair-bound resident who lives alone and who receives free delivery right to his door, right? Ask the youth who come into our pharmacy and see two Black men, Dr. Haskins and Dr. Powell. And are inspired to become pharmacists because they look like me, they sound like me, they are me, right? Don't ask me what makes GreaterHealth so different. Ask Dr. Mahdi. Ask the women who come into my pharmacy and buy Band-Aids that match our skin tone and make us feel seen. This pharmacy is ours. Also, our bottles are different. Our bottles are green. This symbolizes health, wellness, and sustainability. And we don't just put medication in here. We put love, we put respect, we put a intentional and genuine care for our community into this bottle. We bottle it up and we give it to you, the people of St. Louis. This pharmacy is yours. This pharmacy is ours. This pharmacy belongs to the city of St. Louis. And I say in closing, use this. As everybody said previously, the only way we become sustainable is if you do business with us. Our medicine is good too. It is. Our pharmacists are qualified.
All right.
You get better care when you come to GreaterHealth and SSM Express Care Clinic. And so I ask you all today to support us. Sign up. Scan the QR codes. And fill out the form in less than 2 minutes. And then we do the rest. We call your healthcare provider. We call your previous pharmacy. And we transfer to us. We handle the rest. Right? Yeah, we do. For real. We do. And if anybody in here is who's used us, now that's a real check. How many, raise your hand if you use us currently. Okay. They can attest to that. And tell everybody about us. Tell your friends. Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your uncles, tell your aunties. Tell everybody about us, that we're here in the community. Because I just found out from our alderwoman that on March 28th, the Walgreens on Page and Union is closing. But on February 28th, today, But on February 28th, today, there's a new pharmacy in town. GreaterHealth Pharmacy and Wellness. And for us, we want to make sure that all people in the city of St. Louis experience greater health and a greater quality of life. Thank you all for showing up, man. This is wonderful. Please take a tour. I'm going to give it back to Dr. Marty to close us off. But thank you all for showing up. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
There's nothing I can say. There's nothing I can say. It's been said. He said it because he said on today, February 28th, 2023. So the only thing I will ask you, I'm real good with a mic. I talk a lot. Ask my husband. But more than that, I believe in delivering. So if you don't remember anything I said today, you are not here to eat our really nice food. You are not here to network. You are here to spread the word, to download the QR code, to move your services here, to encourage others to do the same. It's all around the walls. I know y'all got cell phones. Let's handle business, and let's not make this a one-time event. Let us now water this seed and let it sprout in Del Mar, throughout North St. Louis. Today can be a day where we show up and we are the living embodiment of healthcare equity. Thank you so much for joining us today. I, on behalf of the Department of Health for the City of St. Louis, am so proud to bring and sponsor this service today. Please join us. We will be having tours. We will have refreshments outside. It's now time to celebrate our Dr. Marcus Howard and this incredible pharmacy. Thank you all.
Everybody look up, look up. 5, 4,